when you speak about selling the disc with the services and everything,
Yeah.
it brings memories, the old CD-ROM, that
That's
you can
right.
get for the service. I mean, it was a lot easier back then. My guess is because there was a lot less competition. But as well, the code on the disk, maybe was very big, and you needed to keep them into limits. I'm not sure about that, but this is my guess, because when I think back, there was only a certain amount of space what you had on there. If not, you cannot run around with 3 disks. I mean, I think some
Yeah.
software companies did it actually, but it's definitely something very interesting. And then to see the development. Can I ask, what was the first software actually?
Yeah, so I mean, it's funny you say that about this. I remember we used to have to install like 6 disks if we want.
You see,
Adobe,
yeah,
I think they had like six
yeah, Adobe
disks you
had
had to
as
put
well
in.
a lot.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, our first software was maintenance care. That's what we built. Was so we
Okay.
we built that. It wasn't called that at the time. It was called something else called My Super, because we were going to focus more on the condo market and superintendents and things like that. And so but the concept around the software was just, you see a problem in the building, you want to communicate it to the maintenance person. How do you do that through our tool? That was kind of the beginning of it. And yeah, it was totally different. And it's true what you said, like the competition, it was kind of easy up front for us to displace the competition because they were installing CDs and it was expensive. But if you remember, there was a whole bunch of other challenges with that market, which was things like you needed an IT team to manage the software, to
Yes.
back up the software. Every time we talk to somebody be saying to us, oh, we just lost all our data, they can't recover it, and we have to go to another software. No, that was always playing into our advantage because we back up for them and so on. So that was all the challenges they had and why it was easier for us to displace them. Yeah.
Oh, this I guess this was definitely something. So you had everything backed up actually. So this was your as well, is part of your software actually. So you had
Yeah.
the backup on servers, or back then, how did you store the data? Because it's as well it's a security matter. Obviously, you had to have something secure in your building, which most probably was very big or not that big at this time, but grew with time.
Yeah, if you think about it, like the Amazon of the worlds weren't around, the AWS, which is where most people host like cloud services now. And so we had to find a provider that had kind of the structure that we wanted with multiple servers and be able to back up. And obviously we didn't have a lot of money because we didn't go out and get funding. So it wasn't like we could buy like 20 servers and just be safe. So there were times where we went down, and we learned from those moments where we were down for sometimes, it happened for 12 hours we were down, and we, all day are working at restoring the service. And it wasn't our fault. It was the provider who, one of them, they actually unplugged the server, and that's how come we were down. That's how kind of basic things were back then. And so, we learned from it, buying multiple servers, backing up from different sites, like even going off site to another site. And I think that was a challenge for sure, because we were so early in the concept that the infrastructure wasn't there to support us yet. And so that was a challenge for sure. But we offered those services to our customers, the backup, there was the advantage of too, like if you imagine when they were upgrading, let's say back then to Windows 98, Windows NT, they were upgrading operating systems. If they had purchased the software, that upgrade maybe didn't work, with their current software. So they had to pay for another software to upgrade, the original purchase that they had done for their whatever software they had purchased. So with ours, you would always be up to date. Even if you increase your operating system to a new one, our software would adapt to it because it was fully browser based. So that was another advantage for them.